what he said. It's game 2, Cloud9 versus Navi. We're already into the draft. Players all in their pods, and they've had a little bit of time, I would say, like sort of like 10-15 minutes maybe between the match. So we'll see what they've been able to come up with. I'm sure they've prepared multiple options and strategies to go against each other, and you know, Navi were hoping their first one would work. It didn't, and Cloud9 hoped theirs, and it did. So still very even on the on kind of like the outcome of this one, and already our first bans are there. Cloud9 going to remove the Batrider. Navi going to remove the Lycan, who's doesn't Lycan. This is his worst TI. It's just he's a sad wolf.
Yeah. There was one game he got picked in that little bubble race bracket, and as soon as DK picked, I'm like, well, we're going to be reminded why this hero is going to be banned for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
It won the game in 11 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, it was a really fast game. I kind of secretly wish that Navi went to their player rooms, had Al Pacino there for a motivational speech or something like that.
Or Goblak doing an Al Pacino
Or
voice.
Goblak doing an Al Pacino voice, which I'm sure it's amazing, because if you think about this is one game and you're out. And this could be, regardless of the team, like even if the team stays together, which it's going to be the end of an era, because this is the Navi that was to every single finals since the international one. No matter what happens, if they're out today, this is a door that closes and another new one that opens. So motivation, you have it all.
Well, it's a tough position being Cloud9. The fact they're ahead 1-0, they can just pull out anything right now. Confidence is in their corner right now. They've got everything going for them after a pretty convincing game 1, so they may have a pocket strategy prepared. If they can knock out Navi from the tournament, they'll use whatever strategy they have ready to go. So it's tough for Navi to draft this one.
Well, Navi ban out the Brewmaster, so maybe looking to clash into the mid-game team fights.
Yeah. Doom still in the pool. We saw Cloud9 first pick it last time, so if Navi don't snatch it up, should look towards Cloud9 picking, unless they have some kind of specific strategy they want to go for. Cloud9 will be happy to take that Doom in the first 2 once more. I think traditionally this is where Navi would go for that Enigma, but Doom against Enigma, it's not like going to completely shut down the Enigma. It's still a good pick, especially if Navi want to push and take down towers early. It's a good mech and pipe fire. They are going to go for the first pick Enigma, and I think it's, we asked if Navi will go for a ballsy strategy or play it safe. So far it's safe, yeah.
Any reason not to go for Doom and Shadow Shaman if you're Cloud9 right now? Because that was their bread and butter.
Only reason is if they have a pocket strategy prepared. They are on the dire side. You never really know when it comes to Cloud9, so maybe they've theory crafted something to deal with this, but they've already picked up the Doom.
Yeah, we're gonna see if they pick the Shadow Shaman off, or they try to keep it later. Navi, they don't favor that hero that much actually. The Shadow Shaman actually, I can check right now. They haven't played it at all.
Now you've got to be expecting like a Doom Shadow Shaman response though, and that's exactly what it's going to be, so...
Yeah. Oh, sorry, they played it one time. They lost with it. But yeah, Doom Shadow Shaman, such a strong core. You have a guy Doom that will disable any carry, any mobile hero, any hero that you can focus or needs to focus you, is going to be disabled. And Shadow Shaman brings so much with those wars, by himself for pushing, or by with the team for team fighting.
Playing around Doom, I mean, what kind of heroes do you have? Because I felt that a lot of teams have done this quite well. I mean, we've seen the Lone Druid. Maybe if you want to throw in a Tide, you know, you have 2 targets you need to do, and that seems to be the counter. It's like, make it hard for the Doom to win a fight just off dooming one person, and there you go. Even Faceless Void being picked up is something that you want to doom, so essentially the Enigma
I thought you were right with the Silencer pick. I mean, you know, to me it makes sense.
Yeah, that was...
I think Silencer would be a good pick. I thought it was James. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were right with the Silencer pick.
Thank you, Ted.
I'm just glad it got played and won a game, Ted. The Silencer went like 0 and 4 before it was played as support by Zai, who played it amazingly. But there we go. So we've got our next round of bans coming in. Shiva, what do you like so far from both teams' lineup?
Well, I'm just surprised that Navi let Cloud9 have what they're really comfortable with. It's expected, and I'm really hoping that they have got something in store, because so far it seems too safe. It seems like they're just going to play what they're comfortable with, not really playing against Cloud9, but playing their own game, which is of course important, but are they able to beat out the Doom and the Shadow Shaman? It is an incredibly strong duo already. And I'm kind of worried. I do like that Navi ban out that Visage again, just to remove that Drow Visage combo that Cloud9 has been playing, but at the same time, I'm just still worried for Navi this game.
We'll have to see. They can go anywhere, Navi, that's the thing. It's like you've got 2 strong heroes, 2 strong ultimates, both need to be doomed. You can go a lot of ways with the next pick, so that's really where we're going to see what Navi are going to be able to do. But
Navi obviously like prepared for this game because they've done the almost identical bans from game 1 in a lot of ways, and they've given away Cloud9 the same 2-hero opening. If Cloud9 want, they can third pick the Morphling again with Nagastar in the ban. If Cloud9 really wanted, they have the exact same draft from game 1. They are switching it to the other side, and I doubt Navi are going for the same thing, so Cloud9 maybe going to have to react to that, but Navi seem happy to give Cloud9 these picks.
Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of fan bait, and it's like, this is when you do some piece of analysis that's not real and it's not accurate, but you make it sound like it is.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing the whole time, Bruno.
Good on you. But imagine this, you have to do a target that you kind of want to initiate on, and if you can remove him from the fight from the beginning and you block him down, you kill him, it's good. You have a Shadow Shape and a really weak hero. Maybe it's time to bring back the Pudge.
Potentially, I mean, there's no reason why not, but I mean, we now have a Tide Hunter in there as
Tide
well,
Hunter
so that kind of ruined it.
Yeah, damn it.
But yeah, certainly you want to get the jump. That's what you, in terms of what you said, that's what I get from it. It's like, yeah, you want to get the jump, and just having that Faceless Void isn't enough right now, so we'll have to see.
There we go.
Oh, that's
a
Dendy hero.
Great with the Void. It's a Dendy hero which we want to see him playing in a match where it's elimination at stake. You don't want to be putting Dendy on something kind of passive in the mid lane. The Mirana can't even do that much.
Yeah, Mirana is still a high skill hero, but it's just not. It's not really Dendy, and it doesn't really scale well into the mid game. And a lot of times you want to see a lot of Dendy in the mid game. That really carries you through. And Cloud9, since they're on the dire side, they're going to pick up the Templar Assassin, and that's certainly going to help them if they want to pick up Roche.
Also, an immediate response to Invoker matches up very well in the mid lane.
You know what I would love to see right now for Navi? I would like to see the Tinker. So many spells that you can steal and make a difference. You can see. Did you say Tinker? I meant Rubik.
I was just thinking Rubik.
Yeah,
Kuroki's Rubik
yeah.
is so legit.
Rubik, you can steal Ravage, you can steal the Wards, you can steal the Doom.
Yeah, it plays well with the Enigma in terms of the duo. Kuro will take the Rubik, and he is one of the best Rubiks. Really, you know, there's not too many people that can even challenge him for that position. I think Vanscore plays it absolutely amazingly as well, but certainly if Kuro gets his Rubik, there's a lot of good options here. And even if you know, still like Refraction or something, it's still pretty nice to keep your Rubik active in the fights, but we'll have to see.
If not Rubik, something like the Lich works well. Like get the Chain Frost on top of the Chronosphere, and also your Invoker may need some help mid lane against TA. You want to also make sure that the same thing doesn't happen to Funnick in the off lane, so even just 1 or 2 denies in the off lane to help him out can make a big difference.
You mentioned something really good, which is there's a stat about Cloud9 that I find really interesting. Never ever they play dual mid. They always go with one solo mid hero. So if you help the Invoker with something else, you know that there won't be any support there for Cloud9, because that's not how they play.
Do you think Venom is going to maybe be, at least early game, pressuring the TA?
He could be. He could actually be a safe lane Invoker and a Venom mid.
Venom with the Void mid, like a dual lane mid.
Yeah, that could work as well.
It's a direct counter, the Venno is, in terms of pick. It's really aimed at that TA. What it can do, the slow, and it can burn through Refraction. But at the same time, you got Doom, you got Tide. These are people that get a lot of farm normally in the game, especially Tide on Dire because of the ancient stacks, that they can get a pretty early pipe. And that really does hurt your Venno. So it's interesting. I'm not sure where Navi want to go with their final pick.
That is one way to play Venno, but the other way, if you think about the Enigma pick as well, you go Venno, you give him a little bit of farm in the early game, you get him to level 5, you get the Enigma to level 5, and Wards and Eidolons, you can push towers so fast, and it's really, really hard to defend because you have 5 play Wards and 5 Eidolons attacking. Look at Cloud9, aside from the Ether Shot. I mean, they have to commit the Tide Hunter. You force people to rotate to that lane, and if they don't, you get towers.
I'd really like Navi to go for a center wall runner if they have a chance. We're lacking a Funnick hero. Potentially, he might play that Venomancer if they pull out a Fnatic type
and the Faceless you can do.
Yeah, definitely as well. But a center, they've played it before, and they played it, I think, twice before, and they've not lost with it yet, so I would really like to see them go for that one.
Any kind of advantage in movement and positioning is really big in these professional games. It's, you know, getting that first kind of, you know, step, that first move in that better position.
Especially when you've got heroes that need to be like Enigma, that have to get in that position. And Venomancer can get in there and use his ult. Centaur Warner would definitely help out.
Yeah.
Forfeit ban.
So now we're missing the probably the carry player for Cloud9. Whatever Eternal Envy is going to be playing.
Well, they've got the Doom.
Oh,
so
okay. It's the Bone 7.
it looks like an NB Doom with a tied off
Sorry.
lane.
Blah. Take 2.
I think they need
They need
another
a
support, but
support.
Navi did ban a carry, so there is the possibility of the tied support, the Doom jungle.
Cloud9 did a tight support. Didn't work for them. But yeah, support. This is a really good 5th pick because you can open pretty much choose whatever you want. You can even put that Doom on the offlane and get a carry player. You could put it in the carry, get an offlaner.
Yeah, I think it's quite likely an AUI jungle Doom because they see the Enigma pick and know Navi are going to be running a greedy farming jungler, so they say, hey, look, they're doing it, our lanes aren't going to be pressured, we can run a jungler ourselves, which is where AUI has played the Doom a couple times in the past. And then you pick up that NB hero last and you have 4 carries farming. You're going to support Shadow Shaman, who also does a lot as a support, so I'd like Cloud9 draft if they actually picked up an NB hero last.
Yep. And at the last minute of their picking time, go through. I wonder what through Eternal Envy had.
No, AUI Chen.
It's an AUI Chen.
They can push out really quickly. Yeah. Shadow Shaman, Chen, Doom with a fast mech if they want. Or Chen probably going to build the mech, but this is going to be tough to fight into for Navi. I think they need to get like another good kind of early to mid game hero, something that can counter push quite well with this last pick of theirs.
Yeah, and something that also plays the front line with Void as well, and maybe can have initiation. That's why I like the Centaur that Shiva mentioned. It's like if you can initiate with someone first instead of the Faceless Void, it can put him in a weird position where you can get a good chrono. If you're just worried about the Faceless Void jumping you and then chronoing, you often end up in a much better position. So, you know, it's probably going to be a... Well,
I want a Darkseer. Darkseer, back here into everything.
It's a lot of ultis to rely on.
I mean, you still have the Surge, which makes people really hard to chase. It works against the Templar Assassin. You have the Iron Shell for a lot of help in the Faceless Void.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Let it go.
They're happy with just the chrono, and they're sit outside with it with every hero that can assist. So a lot of emphasis is going to be on the Faceless Void played by Havosa in his initiations. We'll see what Dendi can also do on the Invoker if his mid lane even goes anywhere near as well, because he's up against the Templar Assassin of Sing Sing, which is pretty much a direct counter. But with maybe, well, actually, Funnick does take the Venomancer.
Yeah.
They may do some lane switch ups, like a boss could even go off lane on the Void. You could put Dendi safe lane, Funnick mid with Venom. Like that's the thing with Navi. They do have the individual skill to mix up these lanes.
Any kind of favourites for this match, Ted, based off what they've got?
I want this to go to game 3 because I want to see a game 3. Like I really do. You know, 2-0. We've had quite a few 2-0s, haven't we? Like a lot of games we've done like that.
Last 2 games were 2-0.
I'd like to see a game 3. I don't want to see either of those teams go home so early. So I'd like to see them get a 3rd game, both get another shot. So yeah.
Right, well, we'll see if Navi can do it then. We're going to go into the 2nd game here. If Navi lose, they're out. We'll send it over to our commentators. It's Toby and Syndra.
Thank you very much. We are here for game number 2 of Navi versus Cloud9, where Syndra and Navi are staring down the barrel of not reaching their first TI final. They've been there every single time. It's been tradition.
They've been in this position before a couple of times, so they're probably the team I would expect having the highest chance of bouncing back. So if they don't, it just means that this year they were not the better team. Because as far as pressure and experience goes, they are the best you can get. So I like their draft a lot in this game, actually, with how they've tried to approach Cloud9's draft and how they will be putting their lanes. I think overall this lineup for me, for Navi, suits them a lot more than the previous one does. Did.
Agreed.
They've still, it's a little bit different than what we usually see from them, I guess. Funnick Veno is something they've played a couple of times. It's not really a standard Funnick hero per se, but in this game I think it's going to work very well. And they have great synergy with their big teamfight ultimates. They have the late game, and more importantly for me, or one of the most important things in this game, is that they actually counterpick the TA. I feel like we see so many games where TA actually doesn't get countered. If you want to counter this hero, you need multiple instance damage that just removes refraction. They have the Eidolons, they have everything about Venomancer, they have Invoker with Forge Spirits, I'm assuming he will go Exalt, and they even have the Death Ward from Kuro. So a lot of ways of dealing with the TA. And this time around Cloud9, when they're playing Envy on a position 1 Doom, I would consider this draft from Cloud9 way less scary to play against in the mid-late game than the previous one. So even if Navi trade farm, I think they just have a better shot from the draft in this game.
Yeah, I agree. Man, Navi's got everything they were really desiring. It's really of nice strength in the lanes. I also love the way they've approached their lanes. They've thrown Funnick as the Venomancer into the middle lane up against Sing Sing. Interesting to also watch his choice there with the Poison Sting going up against Sing Sing, while up on top lane, Force has to do it tough. He's going off lane up against Highlight Eye as well as Eternal Envy, but he knew he'd be having the melee Void up here, so life was a little bit simpler. And on bottom lane, Bone 7 is being harassed out by Kuro. Now the Witch Doctor has a real great time up against the Tyrant very early on. His base damage of 58, especially his range, is really, really nice, and he doesn't have to go boots first, just 305 movement speed, but it's enough to drop Bone 7 down to half of his life, especially when Bone 7 went Anchor Smash at his first level.
And
so
doesn't have a stout shield as well.
And doesn't have a stout shield. So he's dealing up with that. He's dealing up with the harassment, the potential bouncing cast, and then you've got Dendi, Mr. Exort build, which means you've got potential Sunstrikes coming in if maybe Horse can get...
Kuro found Bone 7. He will tango out.
Just push him out of the trees.
Dendi's not able to help out just yet. He was level 1 on Invoker, one of the weakest level 1 heroes in the entire game. Not really got that good stats. He can only attack, can't actually level an active spell until level 2, and now he does. It's going to be the Sunstrike.
You should check out his build too. He started off with the Blades of Attack, realizing that CS is the most important thing to him when he's running this safe lane Invoker. He needs fast levels, he needs really good experience, and he needs to make sure if the Titan does come in range, he can at least hit with a level of pressure, which is a problem for Bone 7. Because right now, Bone 7 has still managed to find 3 levels on the off lane. Second point of Kraken shell is up, and this is what's going to work out nicely. Actually, also look towards the middle lane. We've got an 8 for 0 Venomancer. Now he's running Plague Wards up to level 2. Now Sing Sing's going to be farming this up to the CS. Might be a little bit deceptive with this, but Sing Sing is still sitting at 17 for 0 here in the middle lane, making the most out of that bonus damage from the refraction.
Veno generally isn't that good against TA until he reaches a certain level threshold. At level 5, it gets a lot easier for him.
Funnick is not actually in a lot of trouble.
There's no gush though. I don't think they can actually even make this kill.
I don't think they can.
He needs a perfect body block.
There's no slow. Yeah, body block is literally the only way they can stop Funnick right now. And Funnick, okay, maybe with Aoi coming in with a troll trap, this should be the first one. The courier actually dies first, and then Funnick will follow through. This is a disaster for Na'Vi. The only upside they can take from this ball came in top lane. Horse leaps himself away from Highlight Die. Not enough mana for a shock. Envy with the Scorched Earth, also not enough damage to kill off Void. Man, these lanes are meant to be working well for Na'Vi, but they've lost Courier and like a flat point. At least it's only Amelians who was down for, what, not as long, but still. Great start for Cloud9.
They shouldn't expect to win the mid lane very early on. If TA gets off a good block, she pretty much loses to almost no hero. The only one that really comes to mind to me that just flat out destroys TA in lane is the Razor. If you have the good starting block, even then you can still get a couple of CS. But Veno is going to get strong soon.
There's your Shackles again, holding him there.
He's going to jump.
Yep. Okay. But they force it out. He's down to low life. He's already used his salve. He's got to go all the way back to base. This is Horse off the lane and not finding experience.
Now Funnick is going to get level 5 though. I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on this mid lane because Na'Vi have actually put this lane specifically to try to counter out the TA, which they definitely haven't been successful with just yet. But when Veno hits level 5, the wards become a lot stronger, so Sing Sing can't just one-shot them anymore. And he will be putting a lot of consistent harassment, able to push till.
Bottom lane, Bone 7 is with the Cold Snap, the Sunstrike. It is available as well, but Kuro is low on life, and Bone 7 trying to force the issue. He's still got 5 stick charges, but it's not enough damage, not with the restoration. Now the bounce is coming back. Sunstrike still available. Bone 7 turns in. Anchor Smash can take away all the damage here of Na'Vi, and the Sunstrike's on target. The style from Bone 7, he's going to deny himself to the neutral. Cutting himself through. He's still going to live 25 life points. The support's coming in. Funnick's looking for a kill, but Sing Sing's picking him up in Invoker. Will keep picking him up, but Funnick now. He's going down to Sing Sing. Back over. Dandy needs help. Nah, he's got enough life points. 29. Regeneration rune going to get. Oh! He denied it. Dandy actually denies the regeneration rune there. So Sing Sing not getting the joy at the end of it. He hesitated to pick it up. He was right there. It was on his fingertips.
He got cold snapped actually. He was right next to it, and then he got mini stunned, and the rune got destroyed by Dendi. Nice play there all around, pretty much. I would still say just the early game laning stage easily favoring Cloud9 once again, similar to game number 1. I would say this time around Na'Vi have more to play around with, especially the Enigma that we haven't seen active just yet from Puppey. I think it's the right call here to not gank mid lanes early on. The bottom lane should be self-sufficient. and Poppy should be able to just farm up a lot here in mid lane with Funnick against the TA. You know, it's unfortunate that the mid lane for Funnick went the way it did, since if the courier hadn't been killed, even if he gets first blooded, he will be okay. But he lost a lot of potential there, yeah.
The courier is going to survive for now because they waited for the jump in. Of course, he's still got 2 points up in the time walk, but the troll trap's going to be there. He leaps himself down. He's actually completely away from them, but C9 will now force the T1 tower with the walk down, unless Na'Vi is going to rotate someone up here to help out a Forced.
Yeah, they're going to use the clip for now. Envy doesn't have a creep yet, actually, so they don't have any aura to go with the central aura, only that one, but this is still easily going to be enough. And I want to point out how much I love the Orb of Venom pickup on Doom. I think it's a great choice when you're playing against a melee hero in lane, just to get the extra harassment and the slow. And they've been able to pressure those just that little bit more because of the Orb of Venom pickup, and it's paying off. Here goes the tower. What level is Savos right now? He's level 5. So he's the same, slightly ahead of the Dire Tide, no pun intended. But yeah, it's overall, I guess he's going to be okay with losing his tower now if he can find some farm, but still, when the Radiant and Dire offlanes are the same level, I would generally say the Dire offlane has got what he needs.
The difference between the C9 Dire offlane is the fact that you're able to run the Ancient stack with the Tidehunter because of obviously the way Anchor Smash as well as Kraken Shell now works. So Prone 7, when he wants to, he can just power level, and that's something which Forced doesn't have an option for. He is still meant to be that main man that jumps in with Chronospears and makes the openings. So he needs to make sure that the other lanes like Dendy as well as Funnick really start to capitalize. And one person which I know we haven't even mentioned his name within the last almost 7 minutes is Puppy. He's there in the jungle and he's almost level 7. We've forgotten about the Enigma, and I'm wondering if C9 has as well. You got Owies rotating around, did some nice work, ganked up in the lane, nicely done, but Puppy is still free farming and not being stopped.
At the very least, because of that, they're keeping up in experience, but slight concern here for Na'Vi fans is that Cloud9 are ahead by 3,000 gold with only 1 tower, and that's against the Enigma, who usually gets an economic advantage. Now, it is a little bit skewed because of Devour, so
well, you get
it's not
Devour,
that
and now the Doom is on him, Pyla is right behind him as well. Is he going to shackle him? There's a mini body block and then goes into the shackles. So Force, no time to jump away from this one with the shock damage. He knows he's dead, hides in the tree lines, but does go down. While the middle lane from Na'Vi, they're pushing. A lot of play wars down here, and they're TPing in support Cloud9. They want to defend this one. Prone 7 arrives, but there is no Ravage available for this Tidehunter, and Enigma, Midnight Pulse, is already going to force most of C9 back here. And the play wars keep the pressure up. They're converting, actually. Owie is taking it away, Puppy's conversions right now. But he's looking to keep the pressure on as well. Puppy's still got this black hole available. And Tidehunter, he's not cracking his level 6 from being here. And now Force is coming in as well. There's your jump in, there's your Chrono 2. Owie as well as Prone 7. They focus down the Tidehunter, and he will go good. He's got to go down. The hand of God from Owie keeps him up. He bailed out too early, and they didn't finish the job. Prone 7 still alive. Conversion, they're going to focus him to the Anchor Smash. Taking away all the damage. They lock him in the tree line. They break him. Venomancer though. Him through the rear. He kills off the Tidehunter. Then he's got the Chen as well. That's 4 for 3 on the board. Ryan gets a double kill. They take out the mid tower. And maybe they keep the pressure moving down mid. They don't have Chrono, however. This must be taken into account.
But since Dendy didn't rotate, he's actually doing some great damage in the bottom lane as well. So Cloud9 will probably have to deal with that issue as well. Else they're going to lose 2 towers for the price of none here. And great rotation from Na'Vi. Incredible how long the Tide stayed alive there with the Anchor Smash and 2 points in Kraken Shell. And speaking of Tide, he's going to get jumped here by Void. Instant time lock.
They brought in the support too. Now he's going to go on 70. Still not level 6. And remember, Dendy is actually shackled up hard. Holding position to be syncing with a Bell Strike. Will have enough damage. Of course, he's got leap in 2 seconds time, but Doom is now cast over him, so he cannot leap away. They need to help him off Funnick. No Gale, he's got Plague Wars, throwing him down, trying to slow down Eternal Envy. They need to go down, not going to happen. Sinking right in his tail, but now Envy, Malefist, Galed as well. Conversion Army going to remove the refraction charges there of Sing, and Envy, he is still on the
Ravage!
There's your Ravage, but it's nearly a defensive one, and the Bouncing Casket's not allowing him to escape too easy. The damage is still coming in as they walk past the Plague Lords. Kuro's keeping up with them, but Nami now Sunstrike. They gathered to make sure he would survive. Did he hit him only on the edge?
How did that only hit one hero? That's unbelievable.
They literally like tried to be birds of a feather.
That's the perfect snipe out of Dendy. Really well done.
That's
So
the
the reason-
T1 tower too.
The reason I was laughing at the Ravage, it wasn't a bad Ravage. You hit 3 heroes. It was just so anticlimactic. It's like, wow, you hit 3 heroes with the Ravage, and then they just...
He's been waiting 2.5 minutes to get the Ravage. He
Dyer's
was in the middle. He's like, I didn't have enough
bottom
experience.
tower is
Bottom
under
lane started. I didn't have enough experience. I get it, and space created.
It was a disengaged Ravage, but I don't actually think Cloud9 needed it. They had psionic traps, and it didn't look like Na'Vi were advancing that much with their movement, so... Maybe Bone7 thought they could get a counter initiate, or he just saw, oh, many heroes, better use my ultimate. But at the end of the day, Na'Vi get 1 kill out of it. They do secure the tower as well down here, so
They're
we'll
also
be putting
going to
a
be
lot
able to
more
push
pressure.
harder. Puppy's got the mech flying out, and they might
Aoi
catch
gets spotted
Aoi.
out.
Boy jumps up, he's thinking about the chrono, he's got to. He actually stopped highlight the Sunstrike. There's not enough damage skill on Aoi, but Funny from the low ground can do it at once. Hex up and out, you black hole! They got Bone7 and Koro! The combination with the ward! They've brought down one highlight to a boss! Bone7, Koro! He just looks at it go! All over Sing Sing now! He's the last one left alive! Time block on Sing Sing too! Koro with a double kill! He wants to finish him with a fraction charge of 1 defense! He goes in for his sentry ward down the boss! Strike really hitting him hard, the mech charge! There it is from Puppy! He jumps away from Tomato Smasher, and they're coming close from the tier 2 tower. Kuro get rid of that Hellbear. As the tier 2 tower will be forced out, there's a wild wing in the
Dyer's
neighborhood
top
as well.
tower is
They'll
under
see it, and
attack.
now they're going to TP out, in fact.
Dyer's
Let the tier 2
structures
tower
are
go. They force
fortified.
fortification, Denny is forcing the tier 1 tower top lane.
Such a high value play there coming out from Na'Vi. It's not just about winning the fight, it's about the fact that, again, Dendi isn't there. He's top lane, he's almost getting a tier 1. They got a 4-for-1 trade, they put a lot of pressure on C9, and now that Ravage Bone7 didn't have there really ends up costing them. Na'Vi just taking as much advantage of the situation as they can, really pushing Cloud9 to their limits right now. And with this top tier 1 tower going down as well, Dendi will try to secure it here. No deny on
Dyer's top
Cloud9.
tower has fallen.
9 for 5.
Man, this is when Na'Vi is at their most dangerous. So many from Pilot Die. Where's his Shack is going to be there? Force through the Shadow Shaman, and the Doom will go as well. Now, Pilot Die, he's a -6 armor. A turnaround here from Denny that can kill off Pilot Die. At the same time, Plagueborn Gale. Pilot Die, you can't survive that. And now, maybe, Bavos, no chrono. He's got close to Eternal Envy, but there's your denial. Venomance was waiting for it to tick out. Chen also really on low life. It looks like Kuro was playing around with him. He let off the ultimate and almost killed off Aoi. 24 life points on this guy. It's almost worth a buyback to Sunstrike. But he's not going to.
If Dendi buys back, I think Aoi takes a different path than this.
It will be a big flag, man. It will be a big flag. Man, but Na'Vi, they're going to be really up now. They go, hey, you got a really, really good fight in the bottom lane. You're finding pickoffs, you're getting escapes, you're getting denials on your own heroes. So C9 aren't getting everything they really want to do. And Na'Vi are they're very much like C9 as far as emotions go. When they're high, you're moving really fast, you're moving really forward, and you've got confidence to make really big plays. And when they're down, you doubt yourself. You still play good Dota, but you doubt your movement if you should jump in or not. And that's something you can't really afford to do when you also get like a tight rabbit.
Bone7.
He's
You're scouted out here by Midnight Pulse Chrono.
going to be committed on that top lane. Eternal Envy. He will go down. There's help coming in from Highlight Die though. He hacks up a more, shackles him too.
Oh, he lives!
That poison though. That poison's sticking him out, but the Scorch is keeping him alive. They can't finish the job. Envy being sent back to base right now, and he's home. In fact, he's home twice. He got sent back in the TP. But Void goes down for that one.
At the same time, Na'Vi do get the kill on the Titan, though,
Dyer's
so this is
middle
going to
tower
open up
is
the map
under
a little
attack.
bit. They'll be putting more pressure on the mid lane with Dendi's Invoker here. It's quite amazing. This is really reminding me of how IG tend to play their Invoker when it's on Luo. He's just farming a side lane. He's always got the global presence with the Sunstrike, and he keeps pressuring towers with the Forge Spirits, and then when he does need to be a part of the fight, he will join in. But for now, Na'Vi have been managing to take these fights with only the Sunstrike. But they're coming in bottom lane. This cask is not going to match anything, as that is a siege creep, so Envy will be all right.
I think
Might
Puppy
actually
also
consider
realized
turning here with the Doom.
I realized Puppy wasn't really ready to fight too. He's got his Soul Ring, so if he wants to, you know, there probably won't be enough for his Black Hole. But with the combination of just those two is enough.
Yeah, Death Ward is ready, and now Void joining the fight as well. Want to point out how interesting it is to see Lost in an off-lane Faceless Void position, by the way. The way Na'Vi have chosen to put their lanes and distribute their roles in this game has worked out great for them. He's doing a wonderful job on the position 3 Faceless Void in this game so far. Gonna get a tower for his troubles.
It's on a ball.
Probably gonna die for it though.
It's a down strike coming up. Sinks him with the bouncing cast. The mech charge to keep him alive, but now Witch Doctor. He's just trying to make the space for the ultimate. Pardo has to hex him up. Sing. He's coming in deep. Puppy still not enough mana for his ultimate. A War Slow and Life Kuro. Gonna be looking for the the denial. He leads himself away. Where's your back row damage? Now the Shackles and Pylai die. Trying to hold him there next to that Serpent, and that's giving you a kill already. Top lane is still being forced out by Funnick. He's just still up here pushing the lane. And what's really lost here? You lose Enigma, then he's in no man's land, TPing himself out to safety, right between Aoi as well as Sing Sing. And maybe the trade-off is going to be for Roshan, but Funnick is still going to take this tower. Envy cannot defend the tier 2.
Na'Vi are really taking a lot of advantage of the fact that C9's lineup isn't the best fighting lineup right now, unless if they get a good Ravage. Chen's pressure hasn't really been that big in this game. They managed to secure a tower early on, which was great, but apart from that, there's no Blink Dagger on the Shadow Shaman to initiate the fights. They generally go for their plays when Doom is on cooldown or when there's no big opening for the Doom or the Ravage here.
He's thinking about it, he's going to get gushed up, he's still going to sleep away, but he doesn't want to have to use that now, because he knows they're going for Roshan. It's a half pipe, so Denny's going to send his little Necro unit in, that poor little melee warrior makes his way in, and now in fact the other one turns on him, the Archer belongs to Aoi 2000 now, and he has a battle of his own little minions.
I would have liked to see that one-on-one play out.
I like to. He takes his own money because he kills it off. He just earned 100 gold.
Radiant's bottom tower
This is a 16-minute Aghanim Scepter on Funnick. He's getting close to level 11 as well. Na'Vi has taken great control of the map in this game, and if they can keep up this amount of pressure, they will easily be taking the tier 2 mid very soon and perhaps transitioning into Roche. And the pressure is so much on Cloud9 right now because any failed Ravage or any bad Doom, and I just don't know if they can take the team fights anymore. Once again, the Chen's pressure isn't really there. No mech available yet, even for Aoi 16 minutes in. Shadow Shaman has been making a couple of plays here and there, but Cloud9 realized that they just can't team fight right now, the way things are looking.
Oh, Bone 7 might be in a little bit of trouble. Kuro's going to find him. The main one they're looking at, though, is the fact that Aoi is right on top of the Observer Ward, so he's considering bringing that one down. Now get rid of at least his Satyr, and there's a Wild Wing also running out of here, while Funnick just keeps the eyes of Cloud9 split between the lanes. You've also got Pylai. He can't TP out. It's 15 seconds still on cooldown now on the bottom lane. Horse is right next to him. He's going to start bashing in the tree line. There's no way out. He's locked in by Chicken. And now gone. Dead on the bottom lane. And Avast also ended up having his Mask of Madness flying in at the same time. So next Chronosphere, we're going to have a very fast attacking Faceless Void. Not to mention that level 2 Necro book is rapidly approaching for Na'Vi.
I'm curious to see what approach Na'Vi takes now. So the role distribution has made a lot of sense to get to this stage, but when they want to break high ground, they don't really have a carry yet. So Dendi can do a lot of damage with the summons, of course, and they do have the Eidolons, but if they don't manage to transition well into late game, it gets forced to be a strong carry here. Na'Vi's late game is actually kind of underwhelming. Venom can be good, but you can counter poison over same story. So when Cloud9 start getting BKBs up on the Templar Assassin as well as the Doom, I think they definitely have a fighting chance. But
by the time they have those, though, you're probably going to be seeing a Blink Dagger over on Pump because he's about to finish his own BKB, which is going to make the Ravage very much inert up against the Enigma. And then what are you going to do? You're going to keep casting Doom over on the Enigma every single fight. You do that, you free up every core of Na'Vi to do whatever they want.
Dire's middle tower
that might be what they have to do, actually. Oh, this is a big item pick up at the right time coming in for Cloud9. This is the play they have to go for.
He goes on flying to the side of the Shadow. Now the Ravage will go. It hits on almost all of Na'Vi. They're probably going to make my Vector. Almost looks keep alive. And now the win the roll for Koro. He's up for the Ollie. They're probably for the Doombringer. Well, after she casts it off and over on him, he's just held in position. The time lock for what? He goes down, but the agency model will bring him back to life again. Simply forced to buy back here if they want to defend their high ground. There's a boss is alive, Pumping has soaked up the entire Doom. And now they move towards the front lines, one Wild Wing. Sacrificing himself to buy an extra second there for C9. But the fortification also must be used here as C9's tier 3 tower is under siege.
Kuro's dead wards in this game have been amazing. He always gets a long channel and then always hits relevant targets every single time. And because of that, now he's going to claim the both sets going in.
He doesn't have Ravage though. This jumping maybe not great. Pylai time lock. Someone's going to find him. He'll get the mouse so forced off. Avast, he clocked him for 6 seconds. They just find him out and they do so. They get rid of the wards. Even the news from Chen not enough, but Sing Sing, he keeps getting attacked by all his play wards. He's only got one charge of defensive refraction left. And they bring down the range racked here, Na'Vi. Again, Bone 7 in, takes away the damage. Pumpy actually helping off Matt over on Sing Sing. The more time on done right, he's walking into it. Invoker will take the kill, Dendi on the mark. And Envy back to front lines, and there's your black hole. Oh, Bone 7, he's trying to drag back Eternal Envy, and it will be in time. It is! follows him now. The Fire 7's still gone, and the melee racks will follow directly after. Sing dead for 15 seconds. The only thing that's protecting them is that the top rack tier 2 tower is still up, but the bottom potentially rotation. The Na'Vi without the Aegis Immortal, without the Hull, without the Death Ward, actually they have that back up again. They may as well back up.
Na'Vi have done such a great job in this game at punishing the greed for Cloud9. When we look back on how this game developed and how the laning stage started out, it makes me wonder if going for the Midas in this particular game on the TA was the right call. They went for Midas on Doom and TA, so going for a very greedy approach in towards the mid game. And Na'Vi has a lineup that you can just see what they want to do. They want to push with the Eidolons, they want to push with the Plague Lords, with the Forge Spirits from Dendy, and then they build for items that aren't effective yet. The Midases haven't paid for themselves until you get to this about 20-minute point. So Na'Vi, that 4,000 gold that Cloud9 have spent into items that are not giving them any value in direct fighting, direct engagements, just means Na'Vi have so much more to play around with in the fights. I would say Dendy's Midas has easily been worth way more than his
So far up, Envy! He actually blinked himself out to fight that one, and Boss just drops the Chrono down. The Deafening Blast from Dendy will get the kill. But what's more risky is they're about to come up. Okay, Chrono's down, Black Hole's down, but Kuro's sitting there with an Aghanim Scepter ultimate. If C9 come into this and they do not have a stun to stop Kuro, that ulti is just going to shred them apart while their ranks goes down. And they're looking to have a crack here. Maybe Tide Ravage!
Care about it.
All 5 heroes, but they just don't care. Venom throws the ultimate out, the Venom doesn't want them down, they use the shit ultimate to the Witch Doctor. Kuro!
Oh my god!
It just evaporates! GG! GG, 21 minutes in! And Na'Vi head back here in game number 2 and force us to a decider. Who will be the first team eliminated from the International 4 main event? Na'Vi or Cloud9 is going to come down to 1 game, Sin.
Fantastic game for Na'Vi. For me, the standout performance in this game is Kuroki on that Witch Doctor. Just amazing ultimates. The casts were on point the whole game. And even though the early game for Na'Vi was looking a little bit grim, the greed from C9 really gets punished. They drafted a lineup that didn't fight into that well. Going for the Midases, I think, turned out to be a pretty big mistake.
Man, we've had 2 opposite games. C9 were looking great in game number 1 and Na'Vi looked shaky. And we just switched it around for game number 2. For game number 3, who knows what we've got in store. But we'll take it back to the panel while we wait for game 3.